everyone, and welcome back to my channel. It has been so long since I've filmed a journal with me, but I am back from my first year of college. If you didn't know, I went to university out of state and I was so busy with all of just the first year things. So I was not able to keep up with journaling like I had hoped to, but I'm back and I'm ready to start catch-up journaling, and I cannot wait to share that process with you guys here today. So at the beginning, you saw me flick through all of the pages from my first semester. So I split this journal into two parts. I journaled about my fall semester, and then right now I'll be journaling about my spring semester. So as you can see, I have a ton of photos and a ton of ephemera that I gave you guys a tiny bit of a glimpse at in the intro. But basically what I'm going to be doing in this video is just skipping around all the pages left in my journal and adding in all my photos, all my ephemera, and just kind of making these pages into pieces that I really feel like capture kind of the memories from the semester. I'm not going to lie, I kind of got to the point where I was ready to be in a new journal before even really starting these pages. I don't know if anybody else can relate, but sometimes I just get to the end of a journal or at certain parts in using a journal and I'm just ready for a fresh new start, but I really do enjoy finishing it out and just filling up a journal to its fullest potential. So that's what I'll be doing in this video. This first page that I'm assembling is just a really random page. I have some receipts, some I think they're little tickets that go on like the side of your coffee cup. I have a whole lot of sticky notes that I wrote like little notes on and little messages, and then I had a sticker that I put on there also. This, what you just saw, was the little Allison tag that was on my door. My RA put all of our names on our door with little themed cards, and so that was mine, and I decided to keep it for my journal. And then I'm just pulling out some receipts that I stuck down on the page. I have this little napkin ring that went around my napkin. I have a sticker that I drew. Just a whole bunch of kind of random things. You'll see I flick back and forth throughout the pages a lot, and I kind of just take some pieces and start to build up the backgrounds of these pages, and then I go from there and I add more details and my photos in kind of towards the end. But here I'm just affixing all of these wristbands I got either from going to games or going line dancing, and I have those that I collected, so I'm just sticking all of those down into my journal just with a staple. And then I have this Florida sticker. I went to an event where you can make your own stickers, so a couple of the stickers that you'll see me use in this page are from that. And then this page I have some thrift store tags for that were found on clothing, and I just stapled all of those into my journal there along the edge. I wasn't really sure what that page was going to turn out like, but I just thought that it was kind of cool to have them hanging off the edge like that, so that's what I did. And then I'm going back and adding another receipt to this page. I kept a whole bunch of receipts, kind of just like a tendency for me to keep receipts, so I'm trying to use up some of those in my journal just because I think that they're cool to look back on and they hold some memory. I have some tickets from a dance show that I went to that I stuck down. And then this is a little bit of tissue paper from a gift that my friend gave me for my birthday, so I'm going through and attaching that to the page with some glue, and then I have a couple other birthday related things. This was my first birthday that I spent away from my family, and so I was kind of nervous and a little bit sad and homesick at this time, but I had some really amazing friends who made it a special day for me, and I just wanted to remember that and kind of stick down some of the things that came from that day to record it, and so that way I could look back on those later. So I have my little coffee tag from my free Starbucks orders for the day. I have my Sephora bag from the free Sephora that I got for my birthday. I definitely hit up all of the freebies that I could. And then I'm just scooping back right to I think this is the first page of this section, and I have this newspaper clipping that I thought looked really cool on this page. I have a different newspaper clipping there across the top. And the school that I go to is University of Florida, and we won the men's basketball national championship. So that was a really, really cool experience. And so I definitely wanted to kind of create a couple spreads about that. And so I'm doing that just with some newspaper clippings. And then I'll also go in and I have some photos from the day that I'll stick down later. And then I have another newspaper clipping, and this one was kind of cool on both sides. It had on the front a picture of one of the team members, and then on the back it had a timeline of just Florida basketball history, and so I didn't want to like cover up what was on the back by sticking it down with like a glue stick. So I just stuck it down as a fold out. I didn't really do anything underneath the fold out because I wasn't trying to like, create any hidden journaling spaces or anything. I just wanted to be able to like look at the back of that clipping later on. So I just stuck that down, and then I'm going back and making sure that everything's lying flat. I have this like half page in this spread that I'm going to attach a couple of the photos to, so I'm just figuring out the layout that I want to do, and then stuck those all down. Again, just skipping forward, I have this it's like a little design that my sister created for me for my birthday. And then I thought that I had plenty of photos, but I'm actually going to go through and print off some more photos. I have a Canon Selfie, which is just an at-home printer. It prints 4x6 photos, and then I usually print multiple to a page. So that way I can have more photos and I can have them in different sizes. So I'm just going through all of those photos, and I printed off a lot, and I do end up printing off more. But I'm just going through and kind of figuring out where like I want my pictures to be. So you'll see I kind of just flick through and put photos down on a page, and then I'll come back later and stick them all down when I'm ready. But I just wanted to kind of get an idea of what photos I had and what like orientation and what pages and what groups together I wanted to have them. Just really making it into kind of more completed spreads and using my photos to help tell the stories that I want. Again, I have some birthday pictures. We had like a whole bunch of sweet treats for my birthday, and then I also have a picture from some pottery painting that we did, and then this picture is from when my dad and sister came and visited me, and we went to some baseball games. So I have the photo, and then I also have a M&M package that our dad got for us to share, and so I just thought that that was fun. I think it's cool to keep packaging because it changes like over the years, and so it's kind of neat to have it to keep and remember how packaging was at this time. I'm sticking down my photos. For all of my photos, I just use double-sided tape. I usually don't show the process of actually sticking the double-sided tape down because honestly it gets kind of boring, but you can see it's the same process as what's going on for this card that I have. I just take little pieces of the tape and then stick it down to where it's kind of going around the outside edge of whatever I want to stick down, and then I peel off like, the top layer and then just put everything in. But I'm kind of just going through like the actually assembly process right now and just really sticking down all my photos into the places that I laid them out on, so that way I can kind of start seeing the pages come together. And I did not keep these pages chronological at all. The groups of photos and the spreads I decided to make were kind of out of order from how they actually happened in the semester. But I wasn't really trying to be super like perfect with this spread. Like I said, I was kind of feeling a little bit out of touch with journaling since I hadn't done it in so long, and I was just really wanting to take the opportunity to get all of my memories down while I was still kind of close to having left school, and really just enjoy the process and not worry too much about making everything perfect. This journaling spread actually like came together over a couple series of days. I took some breaks. I came back and worked more on the pages. It took me a while to actually like finish the journal. I had a couple of blank pages that I wasn't really sure what to do with, so I ended up like writing just some different stories and different like, memories and things that I wanted to remember down later, but it definitely took me some time to get there. And you could see I've just been adding in stickers and photos, all of the little details that kind of make up a spread. And then I went and I printed off more photos like I said I would, just because I didn't feel like I was filling in enough space, and I had more pictures that I felt like kind of just expanded the memories that I had already started. So I was just going through, I trimmed down this photo a little bit, but I'm going to use it as a tab. I started writing something on the top of that page, and then just I don't know, I think my handwriting got messed up, and so I didn't like to just have the bad ink there, so I printed off another picture from this time, and then I just backed it with some washi tape because I knew that the photo paper was going to overhang a little bit, and on the back of it, it has the words Canon because it's a Canon selfie printer, and I don't love to have that hanging out, so I thought that it'd be prettier to have a little bit of the design from the washi tape, which is what you see when you flick over the page. I just stapled that in. Again, it's kind of like a tab on the top of the page, but I just thought that it added a little more interest. It's from the same events as the other photos, and it just kind of added a little bit more to the story. I'm going through and adding in these last couple pictures, and then I have another like set of 4x6 photos, which again, I just felt like there were some empty spaces that I could fill with more pictures. Sometimes I'm a little hesitant to print off a lot of photos because I don't want too many, but then I realize as I'm actually journaling that it would be better if I had more photos. And so that's the nice thing about having like a home printer is you can just print them off whenever you feel like it. Then to add a little more depth to the page and some more layers, I ended up backing a couple of the photos with some scraps of paper that I had. So I just attached them to a bit of paper so that way there was some overhang, and then I attach both like the entire piece to the page. This just kind of lifts the photo off a little bit. It gives it a border, which is kind of nice. It just adds a little more dimension and a little more like intentionality to the page, which I really appreciated. And the nice thing is what I was trying to do with my ephemera in this journal was make it almost the background. I feel like in my previous journaling, I've done a lot where the ephemera is kind of more in the foreground and it's more of the focal point. But for this journal and for these last few pages that I had, I really wanted to make the photos more of the foreground and more of like the focus of the page. I'm not sure if I'm saying that the best, but it's just kind of something that I've been feeling kind of a shift in my journaling and a shift in what I'm called to and how I'm called to kind of create. And so I just want to kind of lean into that and keep experimenting. I mean, I don't feel like you should ever like settle with one type of journaling just because that's always what you've always done. I feel like there's a lot of room to adjust your methods and figure out like new ways that you feel like speak to you in that moment. And it's just fun to kind of play around with. So I'm going to definitely keep working on just making journaling that I feel like really fits me now and kind of fits this like time where I have to go back and catch up journal more. But here is a full flip through of my freshman year journal. I cannot believe what an amazing year I had, and it's going to be so special to go back and look at these pages and remember all these moments and just really, reflect on all of the growth and the challenges and the blessings that came from this year. I'm so sorry that I was not able to keep up with journaling and content creation as much while I was away. I was hoping that I would, but I'm not surprised. I mean, it is so busy and everything moves so fast in college. So I just ask that you guys be patient with me. I will definitely be continuing to journal even if you don't see it posted on the socials for a long time. If you're not following me on Instagram, definitely go check out my page over there. I will have my Instagram link down below. But it's just so fun. I mean, I love coming back to journaling and getting kind of to relive all these moments through my journaling. So if you're not a journaler currently and you feel like maybe this is something you should try, I definitely recommend. I mean, it's such a cool way to look back and remember things that maybe you wouldn't otherwise, and know that you have all of these even the smallest moments recorded. It's just, I don't know, I think it's really cool, and that could just be me, but it's such a fun thing, and I love sharing my content on here for you guys. Hopefully I can film some more YouTube videos. I will be actually studying abroad this summer, which I'm so excited for. I have a journal all made for that, so stay tuned for a flip through of my study abroad journal. And I'm just so excited to keep journaling and keep sharing all of these memories for the years to come. So thank you guys so much for watching. Enjoy the rest of the flip through, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!